Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to today's video on projection. What are people projecting onto you? So we have three groups for you to choose from. Group 1, Champagne Aura Quartz, and this 3 of Cups. For group 2, we have Smokey Quartz, and this 2 of Cups. And for group 3, Clear Quartz, and the Queen of Cups. So go ahead and select your pile using your intuition, and I will see you in your group. Timestamps will be posted in the description box. Hi guys, those of you who picked this Champagne Aura Quartz and this 3 of Cups, this is your reading on what other people are projecting onto you. So for one, I'm going to say, because I'm being drawn to this Sun card right here, is that this is the positive, a very, very positive projection that they're putting on you. And, I'm getting with this King of Cups and this Sun and this Champagne Aura Quartz, is that either there's something that has changed already, is in the process of changing. I want to say in the process, because even as I was laying out these cards, I kept thinking either this is also going to be in the future. Like maybe some of you guys that are listening to this could be completely like a future type of energy. But for a lot of you guys, I feel like you're in process of this. But anyway, what I was going to say is that, with the King of Cups, I get somebody, and I'm getting a fish right here. And birthing with this Vesica Pisces. I just saw it right now too. You guys are in the process of, because I'm thinking of the fish, right? Of the fish and this symbol of Jesus. I'm seeing his name right here, Jesus, and this extension here, and it being like the fish, and the symbol of this being very, very powerful in terms of creating, in terms of, this is like two cells dividing and replicating. And, that's what I'm getting with improving health. It's like something with replicating, or, we're always in the process of replicating and dividing. And our bodies are always in that process. But I'm seeing it as something where you're growing and transforming, because this is your DNA right here, in a way that is more in alignment with, I guess, your higher self, your spiritual self. I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved. And here we have butterflies as well, which is a symbol. And just a bunch of insects. And here we have insects, which I'll get to in a second. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows without question my own beauty, worthiness, and desirability. Let me remember constantly who I am, love itself in a temporary human form. Self-esteem, I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. So I get the sense that these people that project onto you, they're really realizing how spiritual you are, or that you're becoming, and how calm that is making you. I'm getting a calm, very calm feeling with this Champagne Aura Quartz and this King of Cups. It's like this is really good for healing your nervous system. And when I'm saying nervous system, I'm even thinking about it's changing your DNA. It's changing the ways in which your cells in your body are replicating. It's creating something new. You are kind of becoming a new creation, I feel like to say, in terms of your thoughts. When I think of your nervous system, it also refers to your automatic beliefs, the ways, the neuro pathways, the new ones that are being created in your brain are changing, and adapting to this new, in a very positive way, you know. And I'm just getting a very calm feeling, and I get that these people are projecting, um it's like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna come to the insects now because I just see them a lot. And insects, it says support right here. And I'm seeing it with you, and success is like, I'm getting, again, this is another thing of transformation. Um, because, I'm thinking of insects being very resilient, um, in the sense of like being a survivor, being very hard to kill off. Like some insects we consider to be pests, and we try and get rid of them, and they are very, very difficult to get rid of. They're able to survive, um, like extreme conditions, things that would decimate humans. You will still see insects, crawling around afterwards. Um, so there's a resilience with with insects, and I feel like they associate this resilience with you. And I feel too that they are starting to see your self-esteem, um, increase. And I feel like this is something that they see you've done on your own. Um, and they're envious, some of them. I just got with this, I just been drawn to it as I picked up this card. Some people are envious because they see that you've done this on your own, and they wonder, how could you spend time in isolation and essentially like almost heal yourself. um I think, it's like the spark of divinity. um because what I'm getting with the spark of divinity and this Vesica Pisces is, how people say we all have that spark of divinity, we all have that, um connection, or that place within us. I feel like they think that you tapped into something that they've maybe heard of, but they haven't been able to access on their own. And this has given you great success. And so there's a level of envy. Um, and it doesn't have to be like a bad type of envy where they wish you, no, maybe envy isn't the right word. Envy is envy when like they don't want you to have it. Well, I said envy, so maybe some of them are envious, but some are just sort of jealous, or like they kind of wish they could have that too. That they could be resilient, that they could stick things out. I just got the example that popped up is like, say somebody who sees you physically improving as well, like, in terms of your diet has improved, your physical, like say you've lost weight, you've put on muscle, you've been going to the gym, like that sort of thing. Um, and they've seen you improve in your overall health, not just energetically, but physically. And then they think of their diet and they're like, shit, it's so hard to for me to keep a diet, for me to stick to this or that. And so, um, they kind of wish that they could have that as well. But they're projecting a lot of positive things onto you. Um, yeah, and here, four-legged and endurance. Oh, and I got, because both of these were in reverse, and that's where I'm associating it with this evil eye. Um, I think some of them may not have seen how resilient you've been, and how much endurance that this took out of you, um, to get yourself to this place where you're starting to uncover what your gifts are, um, or tapping into that divine space within you, right? So four-legged endurance. Um, oh, I'm getting too that like they see you as somebody who doesn't give up. And I keep being brought back to this thing of Jesus, like with these fish and this Vesica Pisces. Mm. Yeah, they see something very spiritual about you, you know, very, very spiritual. Um, Keeps coming back to that. Very spiritual. And I think they think your self-esteem is deriving from that. Your beliefs are deriving from that. And in turn your beliefs are changing your automatic beliefs, and it's changing your nervous system. You're a lot more calm. Your brain is you're just creating new cells in your body that are, that are like the new you. It's just changing your demeanor. It's like someone who suffered from anxiety is now like healing from that, and is doing so on their own. It's like by changing your beliefs, really. So so these are pretty positive messages. I think that they see that people are drawn to your spirit as well. Like you have something um, within you that is sort of mysterious to them, um, that causes people to be drawn to you. Like I'm seeing the sun, and it's like, you know how insects or plants or like many things are drawn towards the light and towards the sun, and like there's a sweetness. It's like these flowers with these insects that are drawn to you. There's something desirable about you, and I see that as it being like qualities about you, characteristics. You know, I could feel like a mentoring sort of energy as well, that they're envious of, um, with this King of Cups, because the King of Cups, I mean, this is someone, again, very spiritual leaders, people like Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Jesus. I mean, people who I guess um, God has chosen, um, because I feel I feel like when I say God has chosen, I just got this feeling of people who have really, really struggled. It's like being the underdog, being the scapegoat. People who have really, really struggled and have had to go through a period of isolation and come out on the other side like fundamentally different, healed. Like there was some sort of medicine that they were given. And now people they can no longer deny the changes in them, regardless of how they perceived them to be in the past. Like somebody who was struggled with, like, maybe this doesn't have to be exactly it, but this is an example of like someone who struggled with like a gambling addiction or something pretty serious, where they've come out on the other side. um it's like they were chosen to be able to go back for others. And like I just got heard Harriet Tubman, who was once a slave but got free and then went back to get more, to free others. So it's like that type of energy I'm getting, as being a gift, um, being your gift as well. It's like you want to go back and help the others. Um, wow. And this is a confirmation for any of you who have struggled with anything. If you're thinking that this is a purpose of yours, is to go back and help others who have struggled with whatever it was that you've overcome or in the process of overcoming, um, whatever, that you do have support. You have a lot of support with four-legged and insects. You have support in the spirit realm, and they are supporting you because one of your purposes and your gifts is to go back and help others. But That's why you have to be in isolation so that they can communicate with you and guide you out of this. I feel like some of you guys are, maybe I just got a dark night of the soul type of feeling, that are in the dark and they're being led out of the dark. And then once they are out, they can go back for others, and lead them out because they found the way out. Um, so yeah, so that's really beautiful. I don't know if they necessarily see that aspect quite yet. Um, because I just got this dark feeling like but I just keep getting this envy. Um, because I don't know, I feel like this might be to come. This envy thing, um because of just your strength and your resilience, like, and your endurance, and your survival, um, and how much you've improved. It can put others to shame, like, and it's not that you're doing it to put others to shame, but I think that you know it brings a sadness to them when they reflect on themselves and things that they want to accomplish or work on. And some of them say, well, why not me? Like, why why did God choose them? Like, like, it's confusing for them. Because I think sometimes they measure themselves based on, like, what society has dictated, is successful, or you know what I mean? Well, I did this right and that right, and society says you should live according to these rules, and I've done it, so why not me? But there's something a lot more deeper than that when it comes to God and being chosen. It's according to God's will, and God has his reasons, and we can speculate what those reasons are, but I'm not going to say what they are or what I believe them to be right now. But yeah, so they're projecting a lot of these positive things on you. But I feel like the reason why I feel like some of you guys are at the beginning of this is because the envy hasn't come out super strong just yet. I'm getting, um, it's like, for example, like, when someone's been, like, struggled, or been scapegoated or whatever their whole life, and then now, and then it's like, oh, okay, great, he put down the bottle, great, he's no longer gambling, great, this person's no longer doing this, like, that's great, like, they're okay because you're still the underdog. But as you start to exponentially rise, it's like skyrocketing. Like, I just got like a rocket taking off and then dropping whatever it is, like those things on the side that drop, because you're going to be dropping people or dropping things off, and then just completely skyrocketing. And I think it's people, or them, or certain surroundings in your environment have to be dropped off, and then you're going to extremely, extremely skyrocket. That is when you hit the ultimate success. In Because I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others, that's going to benefit others. I think that is a lot. I keep touching this thing too. That is where this is really going to, and you're in your full bloom. It'll be your season to be in your full bloom. And I just heard late bloomer. Maybe some of you guys are late bloomers when it comes to stepping into whatever it is that we're talking about is your thing, that's going to benefit you and other people. Um, yeah, yeah, like, that's when this, like, serious envy is going to come in, because so so these people don't see that yet, and if they did, they'd be envying you now, and it wouldn't be good. It's like that thing of, like, being hidden in plain sight. Like, they can see glimpses, and so they are projecting these positive things onto you, but they don't have or know the full extent of, what's going on with you, which is for your protection. So that is your reading, group one. If you like this reading, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys very soon. Take care. Bye. Okay, hi, group two. Those of you who picked the Smoky Quartz and the Two of Cups, this is your reading on what are the people projecting onto you. Okay, so right here, I'm being drawn to Tao Setians, resilient, bold, and sassy. Um, and I'm getting this with, oh my God, with Syrians in reverse. Responsibilities, lessons growing up. And so this is, they look so playful and cute. But anyway, this is in reverse. Like, I'm getting that they think that you're like, they think that you're quite, um, I'm being drawn into sassy, okay? So, but I'm seeing it in a way that's like, there's a very young vibe to this, right? Um, very young vibe, very, I don't want to say immature, but yeah, because it's growing up, lessons, responsibilities. It's a very young vibe of immaturity, but with a sassiness. Like I'm thinking of a teenager, someone who sort of like has a chip on their shoulder in a way, right? From stuff that's happened to them in the past. Like with Tausatians, I get, you know, them having sort of like a chip on their shoulder from, the other predatory invasions or things that have happened in their past. And that's what I'm getting with Chiron in reverse here as well, with it being a wound that is continuing to, it's like being rewounded over and over and over and over again, right? And having to reheal from that wound because it hasn't fully healed, sort of thing. It's like when you don't fully heal or move past something, and this is their projection onto you. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's true, but this is their judgment of you. Is that you have had either a family situation with father here, dictatorial control, abuse of authority, and it's affected you. And you were sort of like stuck in that cycle. Because when I think of Chiron, I think of someone who, I just got wounded healer, um, with Chiron. I think he was abandoned by his parents or something. He's like the centaur, abandoned by his parents as well. So there's another thing of like a family member or father figure, parents, an abandonment wound, either an abusive, narcissistic or abusive, or abandonment or whatever. Could be different things, where that has prevented you from. It's like being in that cycle. It's reminding me of, I don't. Oh my God, I'm not gonna remember right now, but there was a psychologist who spoke of, I don't know if it was like Freud or, I wanted to say Karl Marx. That's not the guy's name. Um, oh my God. Anyways, it doesn't matter the name, but it's someone from like the 1900s who spoke on people who, it's like, that's what his theory was, that that's what humans do. When they are wounded by something, they will find others who will inflict that same wound on them because there's a part of them internally that wants to heal from that. So it's like where someone was, say, abused by their parents, they tend to get into relationships with others where they're also abused, but it's like there's a psychological need to want to overcome it and to reconcile it or bring it full circle. Like I'm going full circle with my finger right here. So then they can fully heal from whatever it was that inflicted, that wound was, so they could fully heal from whatever it was that wound inflicted on them, right? So whether it was their self-esteem, it's like, so they can find a way out of it, so they can resolve it, and so that they can actually move on. So it's like we psychologically are drawn to recreating the same situation over and over until we heal from it. So what I'm getting with, oh my God, Siri just went off. You guys probably may or may not have heard that. I don't know. Anyways, Siri just went off on my computer. I think she heard what I was saying. Or maybe she thought I was looking for something. Anyway, so yeah, so they see you as like kind of like needing to change in a sense with this Ace of Fire, but being unwilling to do so because, with manifestation in reverse too, is like, and look for fairies in reverse. I'm getting this thing of, like they think that energetically, and they may not say it in these or think it in these terms that I'm going to describe it because this is me describing it, because I'm seeing these colors, and so and here with the rainbows and the colors, and it's like I say this as energetically you are blocked off from actually manifesting something new or creating something new, because you're saying no to it because you're like because of the energy that you're carrying right now is one where you're so fixated. It's like you're fixated on the past, like that, like your mind is not able to focus on something new, and they see it as sort of like being stuck or being immature, in the sense that like it's like a sort of teenage response, or that maybe you haven't evolved to the point where you've healed past this in the sense that now you want to use whatever it was into something productive. I just got this feeling right now of like they feel you're very, when somebody says something and like they really strike a nerve with you and then you just go off, they feel like that's you, like, that you could easily go off. It's like a ticking time bomb if you say the wrong thing because you haven't quite healed from it. Just combative. It's just a combative sort of energy. Um, yeah, and I think that again, because this sort of thing is occupying your mind, this resentment, this whatever, um, they just see it as you're in a place where it's hard for you to manifest something, what your actual desires are. It's taking up space. Um, and I'm just getting this cycle of being rewounded, um, because of just like the energy that you're carrying. It's like you're saying no to what you're being called to do with this. I guess they feel like everyone has their traumas. Um, and the question is, what are you going to do with it? What is it? What is, whether it's the fairies or these birds, the spirit realm is trying to communicate with you on what you can do, what you can create out of it. Um, but there's like a resistance, even though here it says resilient, there's a resistance, there's a combativeness, with this smoky quartz. I got like, um you know how people say like, you want all the smoke, like that's you, like you want the smoke. So anyhow, I feel like now this is like fast forwarding, right? I feel like there's something with envy as well. Um, because now these went in reverse. Now these are upright. I put these upright, and so I feel like once you're able to, um, say no to certain behaviors, and this is them in the future thinking this. This is a future energy, which I'm being called to say, is once you say no to, having the past control you, and this is from their perspective because they think the past is controlling you and preventing you from moving forward in a strong way, because this is like there's some level of acceptance, but it's like when you're able to like, really cleanse your energy or change your energy field to something different from this sort of combative, immature, energy, and this is their perspective again, it's not mine, um, then that's when they're going to be envious of what you're able to manifest because it's something that's going to be, influenced by the higher realms, and I feel it's like it's going to be like Chiron, like you're going to be able to tell people because I'm thinking of Chiron and, um, how he was able to always, as a healer, right? Like a wounded healer was able to, like to always tell people the things that they needed to hear. There was something healing about just, and when I think of healing, it's like the right dose of something, finding the right dose of something. I think that's part of your healing, is finding the right dose, for yourself, but you're also going to be able to know what the right dose is for other people. And these are like things of a spiritual nature, things of, not even, yeah, it is spiritual, because it could be somebody who's experienced trauma, and it needs to hear certain things. And I feel like there's something about you that where when you speak, they'll be able to really resonate with what you say, because it'll be having the depth and the weight that they really need, and they're gonna know that you've been there, and you've very resilient in sort of what you've been able to do as a result, or how you've been able to move forward and create something new out of your life. And so they're gonna admire that. And really, I'm getting like finding the right dose for yourself, because when I talked about being combative and being, having this sort of energy to you that comes across as immature to some, or being angry, or wanting smoke, like that's a little bit on the too much scale for them. But like when you kind of bring that down a little bit and then bring something up a little, it's like finding the right amount of it, because no one's saying that they don't think that you shouldn't protect yourself, but maybe it's like an overprotection, or it's like a response, like, so it's really just about finding the right dose. And I think that soon, at some point when you do get to finding the right dose for yourself, you're going to be able to have the right dose for other people in what you're called to do, because there's like some purpose to all of this as well. So yeah, so that's what they think of you currently, and I guess what they will be thinking of you further down the road as well. And I think there will be a level of being jealous in the way that you're able to help others, and how you've changed your life and matured, right? Because, as I said, there's sort of like a teenager vibe that they're getting from you right now, or that they're projecting onto you right now. But when you do grow up, from and kind of move into the next phase of, I guess, being the adult, there's going to be things that they really admire about you. So yeah, so that's your reading, group 2. If you liked it, please leave a like. Let me know what you think in the comments, how it resonates. Subscribe to see more videos. I will see you guys very soon. Bye. Hi, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who picked this clear quartz and this Queen of Cups, this is your reading on what are people projecting onto you. I almost lost my train of thought for a second. Anyhow, they think that you're, going through a transition right now. And there's stuff where things are coming to an end with the Death card here, and they see that you are very worried. They're projecting that, you are stressing about it, worried about it, keeps you up at night. You're usually a person who is very, I want to say, it's like this Queen of Cups, right? Somebody who's usually, very kind and loving, and all those sorts of things. But right now, it's like you're really worried. Like maybe it's affecting your mental health, um, you know. And I think also another thing too is with this adversity card, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. I think another thing that they're projecting onto you is that, whatever change that's happening, um, I feel like with this Eight of Cups in reverse as well, is like maybe there was something, this is what they're thinking. There was something that was very unfulfilling, or that you were unhappy about for a while, that you did not take the initiative to leave, um, because you thought it would be, either difficult or whatever. But during that time, with this unleash your kind of self, first quarter moon in Capricorn and this Queen of Cups, I feel like you were just having a lot of problems with wherever you were at before whatever it was ended. And they saw that, they saw that there was a lot of issues, that you were maybe butting heads with somebody else, or maybe it was a career or a job with Capricorn, that has come to an end, or just it could be anything where it was kind of taking away from your kind-heartedness or the way that they perceived you to be usually. Like it was starting to, with alive in reverse, may you delight in the vitality, it was starting to take away, I don't know, like, I don't want to say your life force, but your joy, your feelings of fulfillment, but you weren't willing to walk away from it. And so now something's happened where um, you're having to step into the unknown, right? Because maybe that's why you didn't want to walk away from it. So they're seeing, they're seeing you as, and I think a lot of this does have to do with either career or something work related, because, there's purpose here as well. I know what I am here to do, right? And so I think what they're projecting onto you is that, you just, they, I don't even know exactly what this is. It's kind of weird. Or maybe these are just their thoughts, right? Is that this transition, because I'm getting like this feeling of the high priestess with this, these two towers here, and having to walk in between, because usually she's there guarding, like guarding what's behind the veil. And so the worry comes from the unknown and the mystery, and it being guarded from you, right? Because it's like the doors haven't opened just yet. And so I think they want you to know, um I don't know, I keep getting like this envious sort of feeling. I don't know, it's just kind of, this is kind of weird. Like, there's here, adversity, I accept challenges are the best way to learn. So, you know the unknown, making changes, leaving something behind, um is like the challenges that we face in life when we have to leave one thing behind and we're not yet knowing what the other thing that we're stepping into is. Being in transition, being in transit, is never easy. Like, I'm thinking of being in an airport and, connecting flights, having to be in transit. It's tiring, it's draining. But eventually you are going to arrive at your destination, and it's going to happen a lot quicker than, than had you never got on the first flight, right? Like, so I think there's a level of envy, that they project onto you, in the sense that they feel like now you're moving closer towards what you are destined to do, because you've walked away from something that is unfulfilling to you, or it could have come in through, I want to say, for some of you guys, I think it's come in by force, because, I'm feeling like a tower feeling where it's like a divine intervention. But you're, again, they just see you as like, you're at sea, you're floating, you have not arrived yet. And so maybe with allowance too, the frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. I think when they see you stressing out, like, they kind of think, like, um, I don't think they would ever say it, but they kind of think like, well, not like, what did you expect, but like, things come with challenges. You just have to overcome them. You know, it's like, this is the road. Like, nothing is easy in life. Like, um, it's almost like, I feel like the feeling of somebody who's watching a movie or watching something, and they're cheering on the main character in the movie, but they know that if they were in that situation themselves, they wouldn't be able to deal with the anxiety of knowing it, but because, or of not knowing, or of just being in that situation, you know. um but they're cheering you on because they see that you are a very loving person, a very kind person, who is moving towards, I guess, something that's more aligned with what their purpose is. Um, yeah. So I guess what they're projecting onto you is like, is that when you make these big changes and you walk away from something, you're going to be in transition for a while. And you know, it's never easy. Like, it's not supposed to be easy. Changes aren't supposed to be easy. I'm getting the sense that maybe they think that, you know, you're a person who likes things to remain consistent. Um, this is really like not even clear. Like, I don't even get what they're projecting onto you. Oh, okay, I get it. Um, is that you're stepping into your purpose? That whatever changes or endings took place is moving you into your purpose, and that right now you're just in transition. You know, you're in transit. You're at the airport. You're in between flights. You're tired. You're exhausted. You're worried. Um, you know, and you know, you're just not at your best, so to speak. Um, but it is going to lead to, um, there's a purpose behind all of this. It isn't just that you're struggling for no reason, you know. And I'm almost getting like they really, really see that, where in the past, you were also struggling, and I feel like maybe, um, it's like that question of, do you want to struggle for the right reasons, or do you want to struggle for the wrong reasons, like that sort of thing. And so, yeah, like, so I feel like maybe they feel a little bit less compassion for you than you would want, because they feel like this, all of this has a purpose and you just have to get through it. And some of you guys are almost there. So anyhow, that's your reading, group 3. If you liked it, please leave a like, leave a comment, let me know how this resonated, and subscribe to see more videos. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.